Hi, welcome back to the Jac and Glen channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
Yeah, that's my husband,
Hey,
Glenn.
hey, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Today we're reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 14, Reunion Part 1. It is finally here. The reunion is finally
movie,
here.
The Never Ending Story?
Yeah, I remember the Never
I feel
Ending
like
Story.
this is the Never Ending season.
This season, it ends. It's going to end.
I know, but I just feel
We got
like,
3 more
gosh, we've
weeks.
been doing this for like 6 months.
We got 3 more weeks.
I feel like we've been doing this for 6 months. Good gosh.
3 more weeks of Married at First Sight. If you don't know, you still have Reunion Part 2. And then they're not even going to put the Where Are They Now on after Reunion Part 2 like they did before. They're giving us another week of Where Are They Now? Married at First Sight. So 3 weeks. 3 weeks left of this season of Married at First Sight. But let's get started with this reunion. We saw all the couples come out at the beginning. It's something different that they did this year.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done that before, where all the couples are sitting around the stage, and they're talking to Kevin Frazier. Kevin Frazier asked the couples, how was it to be on TV? What did you like about being on TV? What your experiences? And everyone gave their own opinion and view. Some said it was, it was weird. Some of them said they saw themselves and had to correct some things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good old Elijah one.
Good old Elijah one, right? Realized, talked about the Twitterverse and all those people, everybody that was on there. I think they changed some things. But then Kevin got into a little bit more specific stuff. Dealing with Alyssa. Dealing with Alyssa in the group. They show a clip of Alyssa talking to the women. And they show Alyssa, a group talking to the women. And then they show Alyssa blatantly lie about her and Chris playing tennis. Oh,
right. Yeah, everybody was like, oh, okay, so y'all went on a couples outing or whatever, and how was it, Alyssa? Me and Chris, we had a really fun day. We went and played tennis, and we had a good time. And Kevin was like, why? Why did you do that? She was like, it was just like, I felt like basically it was none of their business. I didn't want to tell them what was going on. And Chris explained, I'm sure it was a lot of, people asking questions that, it really don't pertain to you. And it's like, you just want to give an answer. So, like, okay, let's finish talking about that. Let's go to something else. So, but, yeah. You might as well be real. I ain't feeling them. It's very obvious.
But we'll get to it when we start talking about Chris and Alyssa. She didn't want to be the bad guy. She never wants to be a bad guy because she's a good person, okay? She's a good person. Just leave her alone and let her be the good person that she is. Kevin talks to, Kevin asked, he asked the couples who do they think were responsible for the issues between Chris and Alyssa.
And of course, good old Lindsay spoke up.
That's my girl.
It was Alyssa. It was. She was like, I'm team Chris. I'm partial to Chris. That's my friend, and he's good. He's a good guy, and you gave him the short end of the stick, basically.
Yeah, Lindsay.
And she did.
She did. She just called out. She called out on the situation between her and Chris. But why are we talking about Lindsay? Because Kevin pointed out another thing. Kevin gave some additional footage where Steve and Lindsay bumped heads. Where Steve and Lindsay had some issue, and Steve basically flat out said, "Look, I don't deal with her." He's like, I haven't dealt with her. I saw how she acted on the plane. He said, matter of fact, he told Noi, y'all can be friends, but don't tell her any secrets.
Right.
He said, and Steve peeped the game early.
Yeah, he said, I didn't want that negativity nowhere around us, so, I kept my distance. And I told my husband, I kind of noticed that, throughout the season. I was like when she talks and, has interaction, Steve is kind of like,
yeah.
I ain't dealing with, I ain't talking to her or none of that. And even though, her and Noi were friends, even on the stage, Noi was like, yeah, I just can't. Because they talked about one instance where, again, Steve was like, he had already told Noi, don't tell her your secrets. And then come to find out, Noi had shared with Lindsay something about their sex life. And they said their producer came and said, Lindsay said XYZ. Lindsay tried to explain it away and said that no, remember we were having a conversation and my producer was like, don't forget you're mic'd. And they were like, oh my gosh. And so if anybody heard, it was because we were mic'd. And Steve was like, that's basically, Steve was like, that's how you do. You make excuses and explain away your part so you don't have any responsibility in what happened. And he was like, all I know is our producer came to us and said that you said so-and-so. Outside of whatever might be mic'd, this was something that our producer didn't know.
Right.
And came and told us you said XYZ.
We all know Lindsay has loose lips.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't hold water.
Loose lips Lindsay.
Loose lips Lindsay. She can't hold water. And she couldn't hold water. She told everybody about what's going on. And that's when Steve made up his mind, look, I can't deal with you. Mm-hmm. He already knew it, but they showed a little clip when they went back and forth. And look, Steve, he doesn't have it. He don't have time for it. And no one has time for it. So at that point, Kevin splits the couples up, and he said, look, we'll be talking to all of you guys a little bit later. We're going to deal or talk to our first couple. And the first couple he talks to right out of the gate, out of the bat.
What? First people.
First people, sorry.
Not even couple.
Oh, the first people.
Yeah.
That he talks to is a couple that I told you, they're growing on me. And the dude is really growing on me in the last couple of weeks. That's Elijah and Katina. I gave Elijah a pat. I've been semi-giving Elijah.
No, I take that back. I thought you was about to go to the same people.
No.
Okay, yeah, they're a couple.
They're a couple.
Absolutely.
They're a couple.
So I take that back. I thought he was talking about the non-couple.
No, the couple.
Okay.
First couple up was. Yeah.
I forgot. I was so focused on
the first couple up. Now, we don't have to go in order, but we can go in order.
No, that's fine.
We're going on. All right. Kevin talks to Katina and Elijah.
Yeah.
And we come to find out that Katina and Elijah are going strong. We come to find out that Elijah mentioned that as he saw himself on TV, he learned a lot.
Yeah, he said that before. He said, I did a lot of self-reflection. I did a lot of self-correcting. When I was like, oh, bruh, like, you shouldn't have said that. Why did you say it like that? He was like, I realized that it was like it needed to be said, but like my tone was rough. I really shouldn't have said it like that. And how a lot of the, I don't want to call them keyboard assassins, but he was like, a lot of people with Twitter fingers and bloggers and YouTubers kind of dragged him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I mean, it was bad, but dang, y'all don't know me.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know me, which that's something that Michael said too, that he got from this situation. I'm going to digress a little bit. He talked about how, people see this 30 seconds of you and they think they know you, but that's just what they showed.
Yeah.
This sound bite. And so Elijah kind of said it was like, y'all looking at a sound bite and y'all had pigeonholed me. People had pigeonholed.
No, I mean, people have pigeonholed you, but what he's shown and what he said, right? Mm-hmm. Even Kevin talks about the app situation. Mm-hmm. And Elijah was finally admitted, I did go overboard. I could have done that situation a little bit different. And even when after that, he goes into, I wish somebody would have said something to me. That no one stood up and no one said, bruh, you acting an ace, or bruh, you being, you shouldn't do it that way.
Who?
It could have been Michael. There was that.
But they weren't in there a lot of the times when they had those kind of conversations. So I'm like, who was he expecting to say something? One of the producers or whatever. They are trying to make TV. They're not going to stop you.
But I'm just going by what he said. He wished somebody had said,
oh, yeah,
yo, bro, you making yourself like a fool. You treating your wife bad.
I see what you... No, I know that's what he said. But what I'm saying, if I was talking to Elijah, who were you expecting to stop you?
Right.
Who was going to stop you? The producer's not going to stop it. They're making TV. Really? They're making TV. They're going to just film it. They're not the experts. They're not there to give you counseling. They don't have a dog in the fight, really. They're not necessarily even fighting for y'all to be together. They just filming and producing the show. So who was going to stop you besides her?
But no, the boys, though, because I believe they had more conversations than just that. But and even with the app instance, right? When he was at the table, somebody could have been like, hey, yo, bro, that's not the place, not the time. And if you look at his history, he always needed. They said you needed to have to correct him several times. Mm-hmm. He needed someone to always be able to give it to him. And Katina didn't want to do it, and he might not even received it from her. But he needed somebody else, whether it was Michael, Steve. Well, Mark doesn't like confrontation. Wasn't going to be him, but somebody be like, "Yo, bruh, that was wrong." Even if they pulled him to the side, like, "Yo, you shouldn't have did that."
Right, but I'm saying, besides the thing at the dinner table, then a lot of these conversations and the way he talked about her to her, let me say it like that, took place outside of their view. I understand, like, I'm sure he went to talk to them, but he didn't give the whole rundown. You know, they weren't there. What they're hearing is hearsay. So I can't even really correct you when all I'm hearing is your side. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I can appreciate what he was saying, but I'm like, who was going to say something to you? Except for at that table when somebody should have been like, hey, but at the same time, they didn't know what he was talking about, so they couldn't say.
True.
You're not doing it. If they knew then at the table was an app, then they could say, calm down. Like, you're doing too much. But, yeah.
I mean, you're right. I mean, he said he does support Katina. Katina says, that she's been holding him down, even through all this social media stuff and everything like that, that she's really been supporting him and he's really been supporting her.
Yeah, he was like, you could have been, like, listening and looking at everything people said and be like, nah, forget this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just commend you for looking past what people said, and you really saw me for who I was. And
I mean, he was giving her kudos. He gave her credit for who she was and what she did. And one thing I like about Kevin asked a question about cooking, right? Kevin asked, "Are you still giving my man hot meals every day? Are you still providing him with the hot meals?" And she was like, "No." And Elijah one was like, "Nah, we don't. We make arrangements, and we both work." And what he said was, "She's a working woman, like I'm a working woman. I mean, like I'm a working man." And she may not have time to do that.
He finally realized that work at home doesn't mean not working.
Right. But she might be in the office back now too, so people are going back. So she might have back then when they did the reunion. So she might have gone back and didn't have time. And he realized, oh dang, it's totally different. Where the camera's going, it's totally different. She's not forcing herself to be here or do different things. And he said we'll find ways to eat, whether we go out or whatever the case may be. He didn't say that he cooks. He didn't say he makes any meals. He just said we'll go out and get or order in or do something like that. So he never said that he actually have learned how to throw down in the kitchen and grill. So
he's still grabbing the peanut butter. Sandwiches. Kevin comes up and asks, you got something for How you gonna validate your love for Katina? Go ahead. What I want to say first of all, though, the pattern is when you bring the couple in, you talk to them. How was it after the cameras were gone? And where are y'all today? Mm-hmm. Kevin never once fixed his mouth to say, so tell me. Obviously, because he knew because of what's going to happen. But he never asked them, so are y'all still married? He never asked. Never.
No, he didn't.
Because then he tells Elijah
you got something for Katina. Basically, the way he validated his love for Katina. I told y'all in the last review that brothers had to step their game up because Steve did some things. y'all don't trip. Steve did some things with Noi, and brothers were like, whoa. So Elijah had to step his game up. He had to step his game up, and he went down on one knee, and he told, Katina, I love you, I care for you, I appreciate all the things that you've done, appreciate things that we've been through, and he pulled out this rock. I wanted to see the inside of the box, right? You silly. I wanted to see the inside of the box. I wanted to see if the inside of the box was from the same company that Steve got his from. Maybe he got a hookup. You know what I'm saying?
I would think if it was from them, they probably would have shown the box.
Probably would have shown the box. It probably say it's not. But he gives Katina a ring, and she was like cry mode.
Oh my gosh! Like we couldn't see if she ugly cried because like she covered her face, and then she had the bangs anyway. So she just buried her face in her hands, and he just hugged on her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you." And then she realized, I never said that to him before. This is the first time I'm saying I love you. And he was like, yeah, because I be saying it all the time. She ain't said it yet. But Yeah, she got her nice little rock.
Now her nice rock, and no one backstage knew. Nobody knew. So when she went back and showed her girl Jasmina, and they was like, "Ooh, what's up? What's up?" And I know y'all. We're gonna talk about it. Y'all like. I want to know. Do y'all like Katina's new wig? Because she had a nice one on. She cleaned up. Elijah one had his fresh suit on. Katina had the dress on. Y'all was giving that woman a hard time all season long. Y'all was giving her a rough time all season long. But
I was gonna say, 'cause we ain't talking about her.
I didn't talk about her wig.
Not like that.
No.
We just talked about how she was patting it that one time. But
Ken, Katina seemed she when she was talking seemed more open.
Mm-hmm.
She was more vocal now. She seemed she didn't have those faces that she looked like she was beat down. She genuinely looked like she was happy to be with Elijah on. And she's happy to be in their marriage, and happy to be in a relationship, happy to be together. So it seemed as if, and does seem that they're going strong in their marriage.
A couple things with them. We find out that Elijah sold his house.
Yes.
They're in an apartment. He was like, I'm trying to switch it up, do something different. And he basically was like, because it was some old memories there. I don't know, maybe the one serious relationship he had. Maybe she lived there. Maybe it's the family memories. But
the way he smashed the two women at the house.
He sold the house. They're in an apartment. It was one other thing that they said was different.
I want to stay in the house for a minute because that was a big thing to him. And, we gave him a hard time about the house, how it looked old, and maybe he got it. Maybe that was a big thing for him, too. I'm a homeowner, right?
Mm-hmm. It was. He said it.
It's a big thing for him. I'm a homeowner. I own my own home. For him to sell it and to go into an apartment and to be with her, I think that's a lot. And that shows growth in him. I don't care whatever you think about him. That shows growth because he let that go to be with this woman, to give something of their own, to have something that they both can have together. It wasn't just his. I think that's huge, and it shows a lot of respect, and shows he's trying to do the husbandly things in this relationship to make her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to him for selling the home, getting the equity, getting the money for the home, and being able to live in an apartment to get what they need so they can buy a bigger, better home for themselves.
There was one other thing I was going to say about them. The apartment, they did discuss the, going back to the food, the inedible thing. She said that what happened was it was one time she fixed some chicken.
Yeah.
She wasn't paying attention to the air fryer. So both of them, when they took it out, was like, oh, wait, oops, didn't leave that in there long enough. So that was the food thing. But it was one other thing.
It wasn't about kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they said they're going to hold off a little bit and see how things work out about the kid situation. So, again, all in all, at this part in the reunion, Elijah...
Oh, I know. It was the dance. It was the stripper. It was the stripper dance thing at the wedding. Yeah. They talked about, were you like thrown off by that? She was like, not really. He asked me beforehand. He did me the gentleman thing and asked me if he could dance, but I didn't know he was going to do all the whole shirt thing or whatever. And my biggest thing was, please move my mama. Move my mama away. I don't want to see this, because he was going in. But she said she didn't mind it. He had asked. But yeah.
Because her mama was a church mama.
That was the other thing they talked about.
Her mama ain't seen no strippers. They don't do that. Deacon board don't be stripping at church.
I don't think that's what it is.
It's her mama a church mama. She ain't want her mama to see all that.
I don't think that's what it is.
You don't think it is? What do you think it is then?
No, I think she's
snooty.
That's what I was going. How
uppity.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say what I think she is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to offend nobody. But she seemed like to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. But mom,
she's snooty. She's high class.
Yeah.
She's sedity.
Well, it is what it is. But again, it's good to see that Elijah and Katina are doing well. Can't wait to see what happens with them in part 2 of the reunion when they get around all the other couples. I like to hear again. I want to be able to hear to discuss the airplane situation. I want to see some other things that maybe transpired that we did not get to see. One thing I can say, they didn't really show any extra footage on Katina and Elijah one. Oh, they did. They showed. Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They showed some extra footage on Katina and Elijah one that Elijah one did not want to answer.
Well, Pastor Cal sat and talked with them, and how Elijah one was like, Pastor Cal asked him about their sex life or whatever, how it was going, whatever. And Elijah was like, well, it was this one time, she lied to me, she let me down, cause she said she was gonna do me a favor. And Pastor Cal was like, huh? Well, I had just got out the shower, and I said, when I came to bed, she said she was gonna do me a favor,
and I needed to relax,
and I needed, my relaxation time. And Pastor Cal was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say what
Kevin
that was.
Like Elijah one. What was that? Elijah
and he couldn't tell it neither.
Like, she was either gonna hit my man off with some tongue loving, or she was gonna get my man the 5-finger situation. Yeah, I'm gonna put it that way. Y'all figure it out. Either she.
Yeah, it was either dome or palm.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good way.
It was either dome or palm.
Dome or palm. That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
So but neither one of them wanted to answer. So we see how.
I told you they had to be doing something.
I knew they was doing something. He wasn't just penetrating.
I was like, cause ain't no way. He called himself hypersexual. It ain't no way, boy, ain't no way.
Hey, but again, Elijah and Katina doing well. Let's see how part 2 shapes out for them. I'm interested to see where they are now. Mm-hmm. If they're still going strong, have they gotten a house? Have they gotten to that next level? So only time will tell with Katina and Elijah one, but I'm happy that they're doing well. I want to know from you guys in the chat below, do you believe the change in Elijah one? Did you see growth? Do you think about Elijah one a little bit different now since you saw part 1 of the reunion? So leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know. All right? Let's move on. Ready? To Alyssa and Chris.
The hot mess.
The next couple up. All right? The next couple that was up was Alyssa and Chris. Kevin brings Alyssa and Chris out there, and Alyssa already has the puppy dog look on her face already. Like, you just knew there was going to be some fireworks, or not fireworks. There was going to be some crying here. And y'all guys are not big fans of Alyssa. We're not a big fan of Alyssa. They were only married for 10 days.
And the part that tripped me out, let me say this. Before Kevin could ask them anything, she was like, I just want to say this. And she goes into her whole spiel. Like, Kevin's going to ask you that. Let him ask you. But she said she going to beat him to the punch and explain, it's not the way I wanted to handle it, my mental space, and I just spiraled out, and, I just didn't know how to handle it. And I'm like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's what you tell everybody. That's her story, and she's sticking to it. Leave her alone. That's her story. I
wasn't in a good mental space, and I was upset that experts didn't give either one of us what we wanted. You don't know what he wanted. You never found out.
Never.
Kevin was like, you mean physically? She was like, I mean, no, just everything. No, it couldn't have been everything because you never took the time to know him. It was because you didn't like him physically. He went into, well, why didn't you talk to the experts? I didn't want to talk to them. They had let me down because I put down what I wanted, and they didn't give me what I wanted.
Yep, and that was
physically
a behind-the-scene clip because she talked how bad about it. One of the producers asked her, "Do you want us to call the expert?" No, I don't want to talk to them. They let me down. I want to talk.
Can somebody fly in?
Can somebody fly in? What experts? No, we're gonna call the expert. They can't fly in. What they're gonna do? Fly in and bring you another man? It's not gonna happen. This is who you with. So do you want to call and talk to them about what you're going through in the process? If it was about the experience with her, about the process, she'd have went through the process, right? Mm-hmm. She would have been like, okay, let me see what Chris has to offer. You listen to his friends, right? And it was like, oh, he's condescending, this, that, and the other. And he had never been condescending to you. And so you're taking because of what he didn't look like, what he looked like, and what his friend said, compounded, and she was like, yo, I'm out. This ain't nowhere near what I want to do.
And like you said, they were literally married for 10 days.
10 days.
The funniest part to me was, Chris says, I know we've set a record. 10 days. He said, but if I had known
clips.
Nasty stuff she said about me then, it would have been shorter than that.
Yeah, because he said he saw on TV the whole car. He was mad about the car salesman. situation. She said, "Oh, he's
just a ishy car salesman
that sell houses.
Sells houses." And man, that thing cut him to the bone because that's the one he pointed out.
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, dang," because she said, "I hate him. I don't want to talk to him. He's this, he's that." She raked that joker over the coals, and had the nerve to even say, like he was doing something to her.
Mm-hmm.
He saw all that. He was like, when I watched that, I was like, yeah, no.
Nah. Would have ended this bad boy in 3 days, 4 days. Chris, I'd have been like deuces. He said they still around in social settings, so they still saw each other. So at the reunion wasn't the first time. He said but I'm just cordial. He's cordial to her. He's nice. Mm-hmm. She still admits that she hanging around some of the girls. To me, Alyssa was like, Chris pointed out that, and they showed the clip, everything. He said, I knew it was a problem when she started talking about experience instead of process.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed the clip of her just talking about experience. Oh, I want to do this for the experience, and I want to be here for the experience. I want to be here for the experience. And he knew it wasn't about him. He said he really knew it was over when he was on the plane.
Right, and then she tried to flip that too. No, I didn't say that. Like, we obviously see you in the clip saying experience. No, I was saying the experiment, I'm in it for that thing. The one thing Chris is so kind, and he's right. He said, when the experts do this thing, people match up and they match people, and, he was like, it's not enough interviews in the world that you can be able to tell how somebody is really going to react when they get in a situation that they don't like. Like, you can't predict that. And so he did acknowledge that, but at the same time, it was like the disgusting and just demeaning things that she said. Like, you ain't have to act like that though. And again, she just my mental state, and I had just spiraled, and I just didn't know how to get out, and I didn't even realize I was acting like that.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, you did. I hate that. I hate when people use that. I blacked out. I hate when people say I blacked out. They ain't that blacking out in the world, or you just don't know. Your mind still tells you what to do. There's no blacking out. I'm sorry, y'all, and I work in mental health and deal with mental health people. So again, that blacking out excuse, nah, bruh. You know.
Well, especially in her case.
In your situation, you know that what you were saying, you was coherent. You understood what you meant. I don't like him. Can y'all put him away? Can y'all get somebody else to come here? Can you tell him not to come over here right now? Come on, that's not blackout material, right? That's not what happened when you black out. So she understood that. She just wanted to make excuses. My thing was when she talked about, you can stay at the apartment here. I stay here because we work both far away and we can split time in the apartment.
Because I thought we still had to be there to film and whatever. No, they not filming y'all because y'all not doing it.
How are we filming if you don't want to be with me?
It's nothing to film.
No, she still wanted y'all. See, you got to read between the lines here.
Yeah, I know.
She still wanted to film. She just didn't want to be with him. So she still wanted to go through the motions. But he threw a monkey wrench at the plan when he was like, yo, I'm out. I don't think nobody knew that he was going to say he's out.
No. Pastor Cal was like, are you saying you want a divorce?
Nobody knew that he was going to say, yo, deuces, I'm gone. And that's why, why did you cry? Because I was sad. And you cried because you realized that this dude left me.
I ain't going to be on TV.
And I ain't going to be on TV. They're going to put me out. Dang. Dang. And you thought them checks were going in. I don't know how they did that. If the checks ended or not. I don't know.
It should have.
But again, he surprised her, threw the curveball in the monkey wrench. I'm out. She thought she had a whooping boy that she could whoop on each and every day, and he can go through that and put. Man, ain't nobody going through that. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna go through that again. And I'm not gonna get no kiss. I ain't gonna get no hug. I ain't gonna get no loving. And you gonna just keep putting me down every day, and you don't like me. And then you talking about, we can split the apartment. No, we're going to have to stay. If we're going to be in this thing, we're going to stay in this apartment together. I brought my bags. I'm packed in here. I'm going to stay in here. I don't know what she thought that was. She was trying to create her own rules in this game, in this process or on this show, that she got the right partner. Because he was like deuces. Now, some of us would have been more, wouldn't have been as patient as Chris. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would have just gave it to her.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day. But Chris was patient.
She deserved it.
She deserved it. She said she's not dating right now. Surprise.
What I wanted to say, though, real quick, too. Yeah, she's not dating because, that's why you were on Married at First Sight. The other thing is, you talking about they didn't give me what I wanted. Well, I ain't hardly ever seen any I'm sorry, I ain't trying to offend nobody. Any meatheads.
Right.
I never seen those kind of people. Even if they apply, they're not gonna get picked because a lot of times what comes with that is that it's a lot of superficial.
Yeah.
Like that's not. Why would we be matching people who are superficial? Which again, I don't even know how she got into it, except that she had this whole. I'm in animal rescue and I'm a social media person and
she talked a good game. I would have liked to see her, and this is where I want to see Alyssa. I want to see Alyssa on TV again. I would love to see Alyssa with somebody that she actually likes and see how she behaves.
And see how they work out for you, because it's not.
Because I think she behaves this way whether she likes the person or don't like the person.
Mm.
I think she behaves the same exact way, just the guy puts up with it.
Mm.
I don't think there's a change in behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember what her mama said, she's always whining, she's always complaining. This is who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Whether she like you or not. Again, go to your point. That's why she's single.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what she does. Play the victim role. And then she's a hot mess. Hot mess. Chris and Alyssa, again, they're done. Not going to be together. Chris has said he's dating.
Yes.
He has somebody. He said he learned from this experience. And he doesn't have time for...
the foolishness.
So he's
like upfront. If it's something I see that I don't want, I know what I'm looking for, and if it ain't that, I'm on to the next one.
She's on to the next one. You know, Alyssa, she semi tears. You know, semi. You can tell she was.
I'm a good person.
Yeah, I'm a good person. Yeah, even good people.
I don't know how that happened because I'm really a good person.
Even good people have bad days. Stop.
She
had a bad 10 days. She had a bad 10 days, yo. She had a bad.
I was talking to my sister, and I think I said to you too. I mean, it's been plenty of people on the show that Jamie didn't like Doug. She never treated Doug like that.
Mm-mm.
Haley and Jake, they were not completely rude like that.
Even Zach wasn't that completely rude at Mindy.
Not at all.
And he was cheating with her friend, but that's a whole.
When Jasmine and Will, you know, how he was feeling, he just kept claiming I need to be mentally stimulated. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of people on it, but
your wife comes out in lingerie and have you at the table, and you need to be mentally stimulated. That always to me be the weakest quote on Married at First Sight ever. This girl is half naked, and Will's talking about he need to be mentally stimulated. I'm sorry, bruh.
But yeah, my point is that like. Never has anybody been so nasty, and so what's in you gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a nasty person, that's what's gonna come out.
Yeah, it
just is.
Alyssa's a nasty.
I'm not gonna blame that on you mentally not being a good place and spiraling. Yeah, no, that's what you would do anyway.
Alyssa's a nasty person. So, hey, leave a comment in the comment section what you guys think about Alyssa and Chris from the reunion part 1. What kind of guy do you think Alyssa should have? She should have the one they matched her with, because that's probably what she needs, somebody sensible. But she don't want nobody sensible. Yeah. She wants a meathead. She wants this muscle bound. Just. I don't even know if she want them with money necessarily, but somebody help her rescue dogs.
She wants semi-tan,
cowboy, bulging
muscles, and
somebody rugged.
Nothing upstairs.
Well, we talk about nothing upstairs because another cast member mentioned intellect. We'll talk about that when we get to that couple. But hey, again, let us know what you think about Alyssa and Chris. If you're a man watching this, could you have been as patient as Chris with Alyssa? If you're a woman, would you have been as patient with Alyssa as well? But make sure you leave a comment in the comment section about Chris and Alyssa.
It would have been so different if he was the one acting like that towards her. Oh my gosh.
He would have been called all kind of things.
Anyway, so next.
Let's go to this couple.
Man, such a disappointment. Such a disappointment.
Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina and Michael come and they sitting close on the stage. They all booed up.
He looks nice. She looks nice in her green. Kevin makes a point to say something about her green.
Yeah, they're chilling with each other, and it looks like okay. I even peeped out to you like, yo, Michael still got his ring on. I'm like, Jasmina still got her ring on. I didn't notice any other couples, but they still had their ring on. I know somebody said, well, they're going to make them wear their ring. But I think at the reunion part, you can not have your ring on if you gone.
And just cover your hands up.
But I don't think Lindsay and Mark had a ring on at this point. They didn't. So I'm not going to say it's definitely a reunion thing or definitely a married at first sight thing. So I looked at his hand like, oh, dang, maybe the internet's wrong. Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe Michael and Jasmina are together. But Kevin talks about, their rough beginning. Talk about the rough beginning, and she said she used the word, and he like, what stuck out to me was that you used the word aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And even Michael like, that word aggressive really took me back. When I think aggressive, I mean threatening.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I didn't threaten her. I didn't do anything like that. I just spoke my truth, basically. I just said what it was and how I said it, and I was taken by the word aggressive.
And Jasmina tried to explain, well, when people hear aggressive, they automatically think physical, but, you can, because that's what is the connotation of aggressive. And what we found out was he was so thrown off by that conversation, by what she said about his tone, and when he talked to her, that he was aggressive and she didn't like it. He didn't talk to her for the first month.
Yeah.
He was so shook. He was like, can you imagine you in the bathroom and you need some toilet paper? He was like, how do I say this? Because you can't yell, hey, bring me some toilet paper. What did you say? Don't be yelling at me. What do I say? Oh, let me just pull my pants up.
You just get up. Nah, you leave them junks at your ankles.
Let me just walk out there and get it myself. But he said it shook him so bad. Like he did not talk to her. Yeah. And when they showed the part where she said when we did Dr. Viv's activity, that's when it changed. And it puts more perspective into when she was like, it's the lack of communication. She really meant lack of communication. Like he was not talking to her because he was like, you're not going to call me aggressive no more. You just not going to do that. He was like, what you going to say is I don't talk to you.
Yeah, he like, I'm not going to put this on camera. You're not going to say that I'm the angry black man. I'm going to call it what it is.
And she was like, I understand that. I'm a black woman and I know the misconceptions. I wasn't trying to put that, but you did. You said he was aggressive. And I would think, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. If you said he talked to you like that, we would have seen glimpses and glimmers of that at some point. And we never saw it. Even when he talked to even when he talked to his sisters about you. If you mad, if you upset, if you don't like this person, when you talk about it, you would get angry, upset. He didn't even do that with his sisters.
Nah. One thing I do blame Michael for is being quiet. Oof. For that month. Mm-hmm. You have a short time frame, right? We know we have a short window. We know, okay, it's upsetting. I would have, even though she called me aggressive, and I've been called aggressive in my tone and in my voice and the way I speak. And so what I would have been to her and I would have said, look, let's handle this. I have.
Who did that?
I don't know who she is.
What?
I don't know who she is.
Not she.
No, I'm just kidding. You said Ellen. You have said that I've been aggressive.
No, sir.
Oh yeah, right.
No, sir.
And so it's not aggressive, but I think
I don't use that word.
I think
rough.
Right?
Rough and rough.
Rough. But again, men.
He thinks I'm one of his players.
I think sometimes men are direct. We're direct creatures. You're not one of my players. I understand that, but you're one of my men are direct.
We might have to pause and come back, y'all.
We're not pausing and come back.
Wait a minute. I'm mad at you right now.
Men are direct, right? And so what men do, we say things straightforward and we say things aggressively.
Jokes, y'all.
And so she took it the wrong way, but he has to come back to her and explain what I mean. And you can't let a month go by. You can't be in a house mad at each other. Y'all walking past each other and they're no conversation. There's no romance. So now because we see in their relationship, they never recovered from that. They never recovered from that because, again, he didn't, as the man, didn't step up and say, you know what, if I talk to you that way, I apologize. And he may have said that on, but he may have to do it. You may have to do it more than once. You know what? I apologize for talking to you like that. I'll fix my tone. I'll fix my characteristics. But I cannot and we cannot survive in this marriage by not speaking with each other.
And Kevin said that was like, how you gonna be in a marriage you're not talking to her? And then Jasmina actually acknowledged too. She said, and that the way I took him and the way I took how he talked to me, she was like, it absolutely had me like, well, I don't want to like him. Like, she wasn't even trying to, because it was like, I was stuck right there. I couldn't get past that.
But it put two and two together now, because that's when she stopped kissing him, right? That's when she stopped doing. Now, I understand why she stopped kissing. I understand why he asked her to stop kissing him. And so now, it's like obligation to. So you can now start putting the pieces of their puzzle together when all the romance that they were doing stopped, when this conversation happened. And so now, you have Michael and Jasmina. Like, the question comes.
Real quick though, speaking of the romance, they had that conversation too. It's like, how do you romance somebody that act like they don't want to be romanced? They said they're not attracted to you, so why am I trying to get you to like me when you keep saying that you don't like me, that you don't want to? He was like, how do you romance somebody that won't let you or doesn't want to be romanced?
I read between, but I read between those. Again, you guys are y'all friends, y'all sleeping together, y'all playing a part, you playing a role. And I want to say sleeping with each other. I mean sleeping in the same bed. You playing a role. You did the anniversary thing, but you did never tell her she looked nice. And so those type of things make a difference. And again, how do you take someone out or your woman walk in the room, right? And you don't say, "Oh, I like you in that dress." Even when she did it last week on the reunion, on the decision day, "Oh, you look nice in that suit." He never complimented her back. Think about it. So again, she's not getting the compliments that she need, but she's trying to give it to you. And you know, I do all the time. You walk in the room, I might do it a little too much, right? And so, hey, you look nice today. I like your hair. I like your glasses. Don't nod your head too much. but you know, always giving you compliments. And some of the guys out there, you guys may give your wives compliments as well. But again, some like compliments that sparks those things. You have to show the other person that you affirm them and appreciate them, and that you really care for them. And he wasn't doing none of that. And I guess that comes from being triggered from being called aggressive, and he was just quiet. But, bro, it don't take that long, though. It shouldn't have. I can't say that. I'm trying to do better. I'm judging people. It shouldn't take that long to open up. But we never know how it is with him. It shouldn't take that long to open. Nothing. And just to be nice. Hey, you know what? You look nice today. But you never know what a kind word may do, right? In this case, a kind word might have got him the draws. Kind word might have kept him married. A kind word may have kept her to put down her walls.
Oh, you just told the secret.
A little bit sooner. Sorry. No secret.
Yeah, so just like I said, he never asked Elijah and Katina. Kevin asked Jasmina and Michael. So where are you now? Are you still married? And here they something.
And she like, Michael?
And he's like, stop playing. You know, what are y'all? Come on, say it. Just get it out. And she was like, because this is the thing too. They was all smiley and friendly, and she was like, I'm gonna let Michael answer that.
No, I'm gonna let Mike. She said Mike. Because that caught me too. I'm gonna let Mike. Like, when you call that dude Mike?
And he was like, no, we're not married no more.
He said he called her and said, I couldn't do this. And if we took away,
because mind you, they're living in two different places.
Living in two different places. He said if you took away the fact that they married, took away that they're I can't remember other things. Basically, there's nothing left. He doesn't have any emotion to it there. Again, which is the problem why you don't live apart. Because you had no time to grow. I guarantee you they got into their regular lifestyle because she said it. Oh, he only came over once. Because he was caught up in his regular lifestyle with his roommates and all this other stuff that was going on. And you guys never even tried to get it. I would have lived in the same apartment. I would have got me another apartment complex. I'd have moved in with him and his roommates, or her and her roommate. I would have did something. We were not going to live apart. I'm sorry.
And the thing she said was, you know, like he didn't call me that much. He didn't text me. Like, I would make a point to be texting him and everything. And I wanted to be like, let's go back to her history. You have long distance relationships. That's how you kept it going with text messages and whatever. Maybe that don't work for him is the other thing. And so he's not going to do that. He should, but I mean, maybe obviously that's not his MO. You know what I'm saying? But I was shocked because I was shocked that he was the one that said no.
Oh,
Like, forget it. And then they said this was what, 2 weeks? Like, you didn't even try. 2 weeks?
To me, 2 weeks didn't try. You didn't try.
2 weeks?
You didn't.
That is not nothing.
That's not enough time again.
You should have said no. After 2 weeks mean you should have said no at decision day.
Right. Should have been together longer. Again, I think you hit the nail on the head. She's more comfortable with a long distance relationship. Because that's what
she knows how to do the text messages.
She knows how to do the text messages and how to phone calls and all that. And he's more comfortable with the in-person relationship. And so they could have lived together. And she just could have texted him in the morning when he going to work. And y'all could have worked as if you were like long. Me personally, I like to see them try to work it out. I'm sorry.
I mean, they still looked very friendly, really
friendly, still nice
and real
together,
close,
and
you
still
know?
close. Even to the point where Kevin asked, like, "Would you introduce your girlfriend or ask her questions?" And she's like, "Yeah, he could, but it would be awkward because I'm the ex-wife." You know what I'm saying? I think they can work it out with counseling. And this is one of the few couples that we didn't hear say they was going to counseling. I think even Elijah and Katina mentioned they was going to counseling. And when we talk about another couple, they mentioned that they were going to counseling. So if Michael and Jasmina could go to counseling with each other, I think it could work. If they could live with each other and go to counseling and work, I think they can. The issue is not that big. This is, maybe y'all can help me out in the chat box. If you find out, if y'all still like each other, when you get to the reunion and y'all not together, why not try to work it? I know what the issue is. You know what the issue is. Can we try to work this thing out? There's been many people who've gotten divorced, quote unquote, and gotten back together. Many people that have in relationships that broke up and gotten back together. I would love for them to get back together. If it works out.
Kevin made a joke, go, because he's your friend. She was like, I said that was my friend.
She friend zoned him.
That's what he was like, you friend zoned him.
From day one. And she admitted, I romantically didn't like him.
Even when I first saw him. She made a joke. He was like, when I saw her, I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, he was not like, oh, okay. He was like, oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. He was friend zoned from day one. Or day 2, whatever.
That sucks.
And she never. And then with the conversation, they never got out of friend zone. They like hanging out with each other. Like they're buddy. They're cool. Hopefully, their coolness and their friendship could go into. And that's what she said. I date all type of men. I don't have a preference.
Yeah, she said it wasn't the physical thing.
Yeah. She
said it wasn't how he looked physically. Because she was like, if you look at my exes, yeah, she said they're all different.
They're all different.
I don't have a type.
She's like men. Goes to my point.
She should have liked him with that beard. And why she didn't like him, what she basically said was she couldn't like him because she was stuck on the tone.
Yeah, and he said he couldn't like her because he didn't get the romance that he needed. You can't get romance when you're living apart. I'm sorry. It goes back to them. Not for them. It goes.
We knew going out of decision day, the thing for them would have to be, because they were living apart, is they would really have to date each other, which means I'm going to have to see you every other day, every couple days, every day. We're going to have to talk every day. We're going to have to send you some messages. We're going to have to FaceTime or something. The only way, that was the stipulation. That's what they should have known, that once we leave from here, since we're not living together and we said we was going to stay married, we got to do the things that a couple would do. And they didn't. They went out there and they did stuff what friends would do.
Yeah. Hey, so leave a comment in the comment section below about Michael and Jasmina. What are your thoughts? Do you think they should get back together? Do you blame Michael? Do you blame Jasmina? Let us know in the comment section below. Please let us know what you guys think about Jasmina and Michael. All right? Oh, man, let's move on to this couple right here. It's the last couple, ain't it? Oh, no, we got two more. Yeah, we got two more. All right, we got two more. Let's go move on to Mark and
Noi and Steve.
We're going to Mark and Lindsay. I want to say that
Noi and Steve is so easy, though.
All right, let's move on to Noi.
You said we was going in order.
Oh, let's move on to Noi and Steve. I did say order. Sorry.
You did.
I saw it. Let's Noi and Steve.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We come down with Noi and Steve, and they still in love. Mm-hmm. They still together. They still rock and roll. Matter of fact, they got matching colors on. She got a nice little orange dress, and then Steve got the nice little tie to match Noi's dress. So they're matching.
You knew they was still together.
You knew they were still together. They were still pumped up. So Noi and Steve matching together.
So that was the question. Kevin was like, "Are y'all still together?" Yeah. Steve still don't have no job, but it's fine because Kevin was like, so what's in your bank account? Steve ain't never gonna say that because he talked about how on the after party, Noi was like, if he got 40K in the bank, I'll be fine. And so basically, what Steve said was, look, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I did well with investing
And
into
cryptocurrency
cryptocurrency
and Bitcoin.
and you know my extracurricular stuff with building websites or whatever. And he said investments, and trust me, I'm good. She ain't got no problem with it. But the thing is, I did give her a plan. I gave a deadline. We did set some time frames. If by this time we can work on this, I'll get a job or whatever. But I'm good. I'm good. And even with Noi, her thing was, okay, so with that, she felt secure. They could even still have the kids conversation.
Yeah.
Still want to have kids soon. I still want my 3, but I'm flexible on that.
Steve joked and said she's pregnant with triplets now.
He did. He did.
But he's comfortable. I'm glad he answered the money question because everybody wanted to know. I mean, either he building apps, this, that, and other. He let people know, look, I have some money out there, investments, cryptocurrency, whatever case may be. I'm doing well. I'm fine. I'm perfectly good. So that's one of the things I liked about Steve and Noi. I think we found out that Steve and Noi live together and apart. So
mostly together. Because what she said was, I moved it. I'm with Steve. I kept my apartment, which that's fine. You can keep your apartment, because that represents her independence. So she wanted to keep it, just for that. Because
this was my first. He paying his apartment. She paying for her apartment, and they still got a little money together. So it shows that financially they're okay.
Yeah, because she was like, it's not just the apartment like a space for me to live. It represents a time in my life where I really exerted my independence and I was, on my own. So I'm not having it as a fallback. I just have my apartment because of the sentiments attached to it. But she says primarily they do stay together.
Like 6 days of the week.
Yeah, she goes to her place too sometimes, but
like one day, it's like usually one day out of the week she usually go to her place, but it's like 6 days they're together every day, living together, living life, enjoying each other's company. One thing he didn't get to that I wanted him to get to, maybe later, is about the cleaning up.
Oh yeah. They'll probably get to that later.
He'll get to that. He never get to that, but I like the fact they're still together. I like the fact that they're enjoying life, that it's working out. That she changed her mind about living with him, and then when he showed her, hey, look, I am good.
And gave the plan.
And
set a timetable and a deadline.
And deadline. She's comfortable now, right? She's secure now because, again, she sees what's down the road. And I think the issue was that she didn't see what was down the road. She didn't have the vision for what he saw and what he did. And I guess Steve didn't want anybody to know his business on camera. This is what I do.
Absolutely not.
This is what I do. And I can tell you what. I wish you'd have told us what currency he invested in. But nonetheless, we'll see. But, again, there was no... You can see the love and the compassion that was still there between the two, and Steve was joking as well with them.
I'm happy about that.
I'm happy for them. I mean,
I knew they were gonna stay together.
Yeah,
I felt like two of the couples that stayed that said yes on decision day. We kind of knew they would still be together, and Steve and Noi was one. And even though people didn't like it, I felt like we knew absolutely that Elijah and Katina would be together.
And then we see Sriracha. Sriracha comes out, and Kevin shows a clip of that we didn't see before of Sriracha grilling Steve,
my man,
about his work and about jobs and taking care. And you know what? One thing I can say about this: Steve has always handled confrontation and situations.
He's so mature.
He never got upset.
So even keeled and just so.
He never got upset, but he did come back a little condescending. He's like, what was the reason for me to get mad? Like, why? Okay, she wanted to make sure that her sister was taken care of.
Yeah, that was the one thing they talked about too. Was like that Sriracha was like, I just don't like some advice, don't hold stuff in, talk about it, and don't be condescending in the way that you talk. And Steve was like, okay, so that comment was for Noi, this one was for me, and basically Sriracha was like, what I noticed was that Steve kind of came off in like I'm correcting my child kind of way, and like that he need to fix because it's my sister. She's an adult. You don't do it like that. And Steve said, I noticed those are some things that I need to change in the way that I talk to her. But even with that, Steve wasn't bad. I mean, if you act like a child though, which she did,
we all know Young is kind of young. Noi is kind of young and immature, right? And so he spoke to. I won't say he spoke to on her level, but he kind of put it in ways of perspective that she could understand. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but Sriracha say she really likes Steve. They enjoy you can see they have a tiff, but they put it in perspective.
Yeah,
and that she is very protective of her sister.
Yeah, but Sriracha also said that I'm protective of Steve now too because Steve's in the family and we like Steve. I don't have no problem with Steve. The one thing that Kevin talked about with Sriracha too is like how are you handling all this attention
from social media
and notoriety or whatever that you're getting from social media. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm Sriracha, so I should be getting it, basically.
Yeah, I'm Sriracha. I should be getting it. I'm hot. I feel it. It was what it was. Steve and Noi. Oh, one thing he did bring up that, which I thought was interesting, and everybody wanted to know, has she changed her last name to Moy?
Not yet.
She said she's not Noi Moy. And that's not because she doesn't want to commit to Steve. It's just, if you ever change your last name, it's a process.
It definitely
is a process, and you got to put things in order and put things in perspective. So she hasn't taken his last name yet, but they're working towards that, and there's a step. Mm-hmm. I don't think if I want to be Noi Moy.
I would be Noi, whatever her original last. I would hyphenate.
Yeah, Noi blank Moy, whatever, because you just no Moy, no Moy, no Moy, no Moy. I'm sorry, it just. That don't even sound right, so it don't even sound right. So,
the one thing they didn't talk about, I just thought about this, is we never saw, like, Noisy was a big thing when they started talking about Noi, and we never saw Noisy.
Nah, we didn't see Isaac. We did see Isaac a little bit. We saw Noisy at the bachelorette party.
But not like she said she used to be noisy.
Right.
So.
Marriage changed, and she put it in perspective.
Maybe.
Hey.
And last but not least. No,
before let us know what you think about Steve and Noi. Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you think that Steve satisfy you with his financial portfolio, with his picture?
I ain't counting that man's ducats.
I ain't counting the man's ducats, but I'm saying, and do you think Noi should move in? Should they be living together the whole time instead of 6 days a week? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Man, Steve and Noi was easy this episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been easy the whole season, but they was really, really easy when we were talking about them from the reunion. So it was pretty much simple and safe.
Yep.
Let's go to this fireball right here. Mark and Lindsay. Hot mess. I would say Lindsay didn't have blue on. She had purple.
She did.
All right, she had something else. And she didn't look bad. I mean, she didn't look bad. Lindsay looked okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Mark had a nice little suit, rocking the Converse. Mm-hmm. Look, it was Mark and Lindsay's show. They come out and Kevin starts to ask Mark and Lindsay. They begin to sit down and they look back at the honeymoon. And Lindsay said she felt hard for Mark. That she really enjoyed being with Mark. She felt hard, and they showed the clips of her telling, "I love him. I'm always going to be with him. He doesn't be right. He treats me. He takes care of me." And what happened? And then, when they got back home, things began to shift. Now, do you think things shift because Mark's life started falling apart? And things started to shift. He wasn't giving her what she wanted. And one thing Lindsay said was Mark was always on his phone.
Yeah. The same thing she said at Decision Day.
Yeah, that he was always on his phone. And Mark admitted that I was always on my phone a lot. I was. But because when she mentioned it, I changed my behavior.
That's what he said.
I changed my behavior and I started doing things a little bit different. Lindsay is a lot. Lindsay is a lot with Mark. I really wanted them to show the clip. Maybe they do it later. A clip about she telling him to go live with your mama. The bowling alley clip. I wanted to see how that pans out. But they was snippy back and forth with each other. Mark was giving it to her, and she was giving it back, and Mark was more vocal here. Mm-hmm. He was more vocal here than he was in their relationship when they was together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. the funny thing with them is Lindsay said, I wrote some things down because, once I get, going and caught up in like, I forget what I want to say. So I wrote this down. And basically she was like, it wasn't like this, but basically it's like, you should thank me because the Lindsay magic, I put the Lindsay magic on you. And because of me, yeah, I help you fix up your family, your 3-family house. You got a job with a salary that's the highest salary you've made in your life. And I'm so glad I was able to put that Lindsay magic on your life. And so what you should do from this point on is you should take it and give it to somebody else too. Bless somebody else the way I blessed you, and how it was a blessing for you to have me
in your life.
It's don't ever forget that. She didn't say all that, but she did say that.
She did say that, and Mark was like, you did. There are some things that you did that helped me out in life. You did help me with my family's home. You did do all that. But this is funny too because even though she helped her with the family home, it was 2 weeks. They lasted.
Oh yeah, because spoiler alert, they not together no more.
They're not together. We got it. I mean, y'all look. We had to go there. They're not together. They're not together because they had a big blow up.
Bad.
A big bad blow up where they were going back and forth at each other. And Mark said she said some things threatening to him, was up in his face.
I'll take you out. I'll do this to this. I'll do this for you. Don't you ever. And he was like, bro, I ain't never. He said, I got picked on as a kid.
Yeah.
He said, but this is up a time. He said, I ain't never been bullied this bad in my life. She bullied me bad.
Yeah,
He was, and she was like, a lot of things. Kev was like, do you regret talking to him like that? That's a dig. She was like, no. Nope. Nah. Mm-mm.
She had no remorse.
Nah. No. She was like, I went in there and I helped him renovate. The one thing I could say that Mark was wrong about. We said yes on decision day. We had a plan to renovate the house or whatever. You said that it was going to be us. Nothing was going to deter that. And, we went in here and fixed up the house. And I rented my apartment out. I got rid of my apartment.
And on the day
the day that somebody was supposed to move into that apartment, when it was like, is no going back, is when you told me to get out. You put me out like, I can't do this no more. No, you got to go. I ain't got nowhere to live. I just got rid of my apartment. Now, Mark was wrong for that.
Yeah.
You was wrong for that.
But maybe he was doing it for his safety because because she's threatening him. So now you're threatening my body, my livelihood. You're threatening my ability to survive. And I don't want to sleep in here with you tonight because you already told me you want to kill me. You already told me you want to do X, Y, Z. So you see he doesn't like confrontation. So what he does with not having confrontation, he gets rid of it. He sends it away. He pushes it away. And so he was like, yo, go ahead and go. I mean, this is after they showed all the clips, too, about her. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm gone. So he just felt like, okay, you always say you're gone. You always said you're done. So guess what? Be done. Deuces.
Dang.
And, I mean, he just got to the point. She kept pushing and poking the bear. Mm-hmm. And when you keep poking and poking and poking and poking a bear, eventually that bear wakes up. And that was the night that Mark woke up and was like, you know what? Okay, house look good. Everything good. Fine. Gone. Stop poking me. I don't need this in my life anymore. And that's the way he was. He was like, yo. And as you could tell, she's sour behind the thing. The way that he put her out and all that. But again, the Lindsay magic, Lindsay going to bounce on her feet. Lindsay going to be okay.
Because Kevin was like, is it any way, like, have y'all had interaction with each other since? Nope. I don't have no desire to have him in my life. No. I made a change, and she was like, I was like, I don't want to be somewhere where it snows and it's cold, and I want to be where there are people of a certain intellect. And Kev was like, what?
That's a dig.
You don't see that's a dig? She was like, no. Are you saying that Mark doesn't have any intellect?
Yep. He doesn't have any intellect. She basically called that dude dumb.
This is why I always end up getting involved with engineers, just really smart people. Yeah, no. She called him dumb.
She called him dumb. She called him the babbling idiot and more. And this ain't the first time she said this.
No.
She said it throughout the season. She had called him an idiot, that he was a babbling fool, that he was dumb. And which goes to my point and you guys' point. Why did Mark say yes at decision day anyway?
And Kev said that. It was like, well, as volatile as it, why would you say yes? And to be a week and a half, 2 weeks later to say no. Because he was like, we've had couples on here that had some like pretty explosive, interactions,
right.
arguments or whatever. But they always found some way to, kind of come back together and fix it or whatever. Like, why y'all couldn't fix it? Mark was like, she bullied me too much. I couldn't take it. She threatened me. I was just like, no.
And Lindsay said, I said yes on the decision day because I thought it was together. I thought we had everything straight. That last week was like perfect. Mark even said, he said that last week we was together. It made me see what we could be and what we could do and how we could achieve and where we could be at. And
but he also said, but still, all the negative, as much as good, it was good. Basically the negative will overwhelm and outweigh the good part, because we had the good part, but the negative was so bad.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. Like, no. I mean, to the point where she was like, I don't need him in my life, don't want him in my life. I ain't talked to him, care less about him. She moved all the way over to the West Coast. She said, I moved to San Diego.
I'm in San Francisco.
No, San Diego.
She's in Palo Alto, San Francisco.
But she said Palo Alto, but she also said it was San Diego.
That was San Francisco. But anyway, the digress. Y'all let us know. It's San Francisco or San Diego, but I believe it's San Francisco. The next season of Married at First Sight is in San Diego. Probably why you got San Diego in your mind. It's San
Maybe.
Francisco.
I thought she said out her mouth San Diego.
San Francisco.
Okay.
It was San Francisco. Sorry.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and finish your point.
That was my point.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You positive?
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Mm-hmm.
We're good. All right. Move to San Francisco. And she, again, talked about what she likes and why she has a peace of mind right now and why she's over there and why she's comfortable. And she never want anything to do with Mark ever again. And I thought that was rude. I thought the way she came off with that was rude. He said, I told you when you said you was going to California, I wished you well. I showed love to you and I showed respect to you. And you can't even return the favor. She's hurt. But again, when Lindsay said, when I pull back, she pulled back. She pulled way back. She was rude.
Very much. I mean, I don't expect anything less, but it was terrible. Like, she was like, he could be walking past me down the street, wouldn't know a thing. I'm going to act like I don't even know that man. I'm like, dang.
Yo, I can't believe she acted like that, though.
For somebody that you was with for 2 months and 2 weeks, like, dang.
Yeah, well, somebody she said she loved, though. That's the thing. You said you loved this person.
That love turned to hate real fast.
How did that love go from, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, I'll move in, I don't want to move in your grandma's house, but I love you so much that I'll move into your parents' house with you, and now it's just strictly hate. Mark is like dead to her. I hate to say it that way, but
that's what she said.
Yeah, he's like, it's a blip. She calls it, it's like a blip in my life, and I never want to revisit that blip. After we do all these reunion shows and all this, and he was good to her though. He did treat her well. He talked about how I changed mine. They asked him early, he lost 40. He said I lost 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. He changed his eating habits. He changed his lifestyle. He changed a lot of things because of this woman. For you to just throw him out or to discredit y'all 2-month marriage or relationship, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. You can tell Mark was hurt.
Oh yeah.
He
looked like he was on the verge of tears the whole time.
He did. He was hurt. I think Mark the Shark really wanted to be married, but he didn't want to be in an abusive relationship. And this, we talked about Elijah being abusive to Katina. Lindsay was abusive to Mark, and they were abusive to each other. This relationship was abusive relationship, verbally abusive relationship between each other. And it was manipulation as well. A lot of manipulation, the way that she said things, the way she did things. She forgot that Mark was the one who took her to the hospital when she was sick. He did things for her, but she always says that she did things for him and never points out the stuff that he did for her.
Oh, that was the one thing we forgot to say with Jasmina and Michael. she felt like
Yeah.
she was doing more.
Yeah,
Too.
she was doing more in a relationship than for Michael. I mean, in most relationships, do people feel that way? That one
Maybe.
person that does more than other. Marcus, I don't know.
He's a broken man, but also unbroken. So it's this relationship broke him, but at the same time, I'm like, everything else I'm good.
I mean, everything else is good. She did mention she's dating.
Smart, intelligent man.
Right. And Mark said he's
not no dummies.
Yeah, Mark said he's
he was
not
like,
dating.
I'm chilling for right now.
I'm chilling for right now.
Basically, I'm trying to regroup, trying to recuperate, and find myself again.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Mark.
Poor Mark, man. He need help. He need help. But let us know in the comment section what you think. Mark and Lindsay, about Mark and Lindsay, about the relationship throughout the season, about the reunion, part 1 with Mark and Lindsay. Could there have been anything that Mark and Lindsay could have done to save their relationship? Let us know in the comment section below. Next week, part 2. Mm-hmm. All the couples come back out. Someone meet with the experts. I'm really interested to see when they meet with the experts. I want to see Jasmina and Michael meet with the experts next week. I want to see Alyssa and Chris meet with the experts next week and see what they say. I think Lindsay and Mark meet with the experts, and I don't know. She might just go off. I'm a little bit of drama I can see, but next week, and then the couples get back together. So it's interesting to see what happened next week at on Married at First Sight reunion part 2.
Yep.
Your thoughts? Any closing thoughts?
No, I don't have no thoughts.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
We good? All right, ladies, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and let us know what you think about the review. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and share it with someone else. I appreciate you very much, and thank you. You guys have a great day.